Hello. It's going to be a bit late when I put this up, but that's fine. I was socialising just like Mr. Luke does, and it's weird. I don't like socialising. Unless it's through the medium of the interwebs, then it's fine. And if anyone is curious, yes, I am wearing my Edinburgh Zoo panda hoodie because they were freaking adorable. And yeah, I want to be a panda. I have a red panda. I wouldn't mind a red panda. I quite like pandas. Which kind of leads on to the topic of our current week, which is animal testing. Now, unless that animal is a human, for products that a human needs, it's wrong. I mean, there are some instances where I can understand it. For instance, medical science. If you are studying genetics and you wanted to see what kind of an impact, say, adding jellyfish DNA to rats or mice does. Now, there are a few reasons why you may do this. One, because glow-in-the-dark mice. Yes! Secondly, also, there are properties of jellyfish, well, certain jellyfish, where they have an infinite age. They're a nice young jellyfish, they grow up, and boop, 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 boop. And when they grow up, they grow old, and no, I don't care for this anymore, I'm going to be a child again. And basically their DNA reverts all the way back to effectively a child's, a baby jellyfish, which is amazing. So that's a possibility of why you would potentially see if you can mix some DNA with others. But when it comes to drugs of a human need, like say antidepressants or anticoagulants or things like that, then they should be tested on humans. Now, I know there are silly things like ethics to be concerned about. Personally, I don't understand them, couldn't give a toss. I've been compared to Hitler to some of my ideas. For instance, a genophage. If, for instance, I implemented a protein sequence within the entirety of the human genome, they wouldn't be able to have a child unless they were means tested in some random way so they could actually bring up their child. You could then have a protease, get rid of that protein strand, and bam, you can have a child again. But it would help with many issues like overpopulation and people who don't want children. It's a great contraceptive. But anyway, back to animal testing. I would need rats to test if it works. Because, well, rats or anything else that breeds insanely fast. That way I can get the generations and then use that to see what implications a modification of the DNA has. Whereas in humans, first of all, we don't breed fast enough and we don't have generations different enough. First of all, we've got a 9-month gestation period, which is insane. Not as insane as elephants, but again, there are certain drugs as well, like Yaz of Tuesday mentioned, the whole antidepressants for dogs, which I think is adorable and sad at the same time. It's a case of, oh, there are sad doggies. Doggies shouldn't ever be sad. They should always be happy, because they're doggies. But anyway, just a discovery of that nature is kind of interesting. But again, you should have medicines tested on the individual species, rather than, say, things like, I don't know, any genetic medication that's widely in use, but would be probably used on chimpanzees or apes or any other primate which has an insane amount of DNA similarity, which is awesome. Yeah, chimpanzees. They've got about 96% DNA similarity to human beings. Although, they would be my animal of choice if I were to do something along the lines of try to increase the general intelligence of the entire world. Which, in essence, is in lots of the brain and the folding and that. But because they're so similar to us, and they breed quicker, and I don't think ethics would get too much in the way. Yeah. But again, the only real issue is ethics, which is questionable at times because some people bring ludicrous ideas into it. Ludicrous from some points of view, but yes. But getting back onto the topic, because I can really just get away from it. If it's cosmetic and whatnot, that's not good. You should be testing that on humans. Damned be to the consequences. If people get all puffy and have an allergic reaction, so be it. At least it's tested on humans then, and only humans suffer. At least humans have the capability to understand what you're doing to them. Whereas some animals, like dogs or cats, or at least domesticated pets, animals rather, they have an insane amount of unconditional love, and you can put through hell and they would still love you. Sometimes. It depends, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Some animal testing, awesome, because generally they're treated very well. Yeah, they live in cages, but they'd live in cages if they were pets as well. But as they're furthering knowledge of the human race and potentially aiding them in ways that they can't comprehend, that's kind of awesome. The negative kind of stuff, like medications which can just cause real harm to them, or